Welcome to Garage Groove. Welcome to the shop. Welcome to this next episode of Garage Groove. This is the community trike episodes that we are doing. We're a continuation of basically we're going to be building 2 trikes and a trailer. Take a look at well, Faison's using this as a seat. These are golf cart wheels, and we did get our second axle in, and we got the adapters in so we can build the second rear end. Okay, we're going to be, the first part of this is going to be collecting steel. Now, we're not buying any DOM steel. We've got a plethora of bicycles that people have thrown out that we've just picked up, and we're going to cut them up and use the steel off of it. Not only bicycles, but we got some other stuff. There's one of them. That's going to be our front wheel. It's a 24 inch, I think, or 26 inch. I believe this could possibly be our main deal that we work with, maybe. But then we have this thing. Somebody threw this out. That's solid. That's pretty decent steel. There's a lot of tubing there, and then I put some here in the back as well. So take a look at all of this stuff. That is not structural grade, but it's good for reinforcement. You know, any extra side stuff we want to put on. The red stuff that I showed you, that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. That's about like the same gauge as the bicycle frames. So we're gonna be cutting up a lot of that stuff and make it so it's easily available to us. And that's where this episode is going to begin. Not only that, we have a couple other bicycles in there, if you can see them. So that's what we're up to right now. We are going to cut up a bunch of that DOM steel, make a pile of it, and then we'll start. Okay, we're on the second episode, and you saw what we were doing in the time lapse, right? That's all free goods. People throw it out, you know, people throw out stuff that they don't need. But I'll tell you what, that's some real good steel tubing. Let's take a look at what we cut up. There's a lot of it. This, I believe, is a little, no, even that's not, that's pretty, I was gonna say that this feels a little lighter weight than this red stuff, but no, I don't think so. I think it's about the same. Take a look at it. Look at all that DOM tubing. That's enough to keep us all free. People throw it out and we can use it. We've passed up some other tubing before. You know, we can tell if it's thin wall junk stuff or if it's decent stuff. This is definitely good stuff, and we got a lot of it. So we're gonna go ahead and start working on both of these trikes and the trailer. Stay with us. Okay, so we did a little bit of work and we're gonna take a look at, see what we got here. Go ahead, pull that seat, Faison. We got the cross members now, and it's not as even as I would like, but it is what it is. You know, it's not gonna be seen, and it's gonna be, we're gonna put more plate steel right there, more plate steel right there, and then our motor's gonna come. And then let's take a look at this other guy. We got that piece done on that. Now we made this one a little, that's a little taller right there, so we can drop this down a little further. We're kind of, you know, learning this as we're going, because I haven't built any three-wheelers before, but we're just kind of making adjustments as we go. Faison's is like the prototype, and then we make the adjustments on this one according to what we want to do. This one's going to be, I like the look of that one. See what it's got the neck right there is backwards, and we did the same with Faison's. We put the neck backwards, and I like that big wheel on the front. Faison's is nice too. It's got the thick wheel on the front, and yeah, they're coming along pretty good. The other difference is we're using golf cart wheels on this second one, and same thing. We use the adapters and we use the same axle. Everything pretty much is the same. We hacked up another bicycle to get the front end, and looks cool, man. Looks like some hot rods. That's what this channel is all about. Okay, if it was up to us, we'd put smoking motors on this thing so they'd rip, but that's not the mission of this project. We want them to kind of fit in. So, but anyways, there you have it. That's where we're at, and we're gonna continue working on these. We'll see you soon. Okay, so we have kind of put together the second rolling chassis. Now this one's a little bit off from Faison's. Faisans, if you look here, you can see all these lines are perfectly parallel, and we can't say the same about that. You can see you can see how that's off a little bit. But part of the problem is these pillow blocks that they gave me were a little bit bent. But in any case, that's what we got here for the second trike. That's got a different feel to it. It's got a different, this one looks more, actually, it's got a little bit more flavor to it, I think. It's got good clearance. It's got good lines. The handlebars really do it. The front thick wheel does it. The better one. They're different. You can go ahead and open the garage for a minute. That motor is kind of mocked up in there right now. We should have it mounted here pretty shortly. And then we're going to build a bracket that comes off the back for his seat platform. Let's take a look at this guy. This guy looks a little bit more motorcycle-y, I think. It's got quite the hot rod look to it. But that back piece right there, it's a little bit off, but we'll make the adjustments. We're not going to build another one. But those are the two machines that we got. This one, we're using golf cart tires. Now, if you guys ever want to build something like this, just get that $80 axle kit and get the $40 the adapters, and then you can use golf cart wheels because they're all over Marketplace. I got both of these for 10 bucks. So that's good. We have our engine rebuild kits for both of these engines, the 125 and the 110. Although the 110 is going to end up becoming a 125cc, we're going to put it's got a big bore kit we're putting on it. And this is going to be a 3-speed. Faisans is going to be a 3-speed auto, 3-speed semi-auto. And this big wheel trike right here is going to be a full automatic. And I think that's going to be a nice cruiser. So that's where we're at, and that's where we will pick up in a little bit. We'll see you. Ideas. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at what we did here for Faisans buggy, and it's a buggy, and we like it. We like this buggy look, and we basically ran. Let's get this seat off of here for a minute. There we go. Now what's going to happen is we're going to run another piece there. Seat's going to sit on top, and then we're going to take a tube down, put the gas tank on it, and we're talking about a buggy. You know, this is a really cool setup. It's a comfortable setup, and it looks really cool from the back too. Look at that. Seat needs to be over a little bit, but we'll figure all that out. Really cool. Now, this one. Okay. What's going on is I had to build two, okay, to keep peace. You know, the other kids are going to want to ride something, and I don't have time for three. But this buggy setup, it just takes too long. And I got other commitments for work and stuff I got to do. So I can't take too long on this. Okay, so this one is proven to take longer. This one, we're going to go with the motorcycle setup. It's going to go quicker. Motorcycle setup is easy. We're going to run right off of here. We're going to run 1 bar and 2 bars. We're going to put a bicycle seat on it, put a platform, mount the motor, and we're good to go. So that's going to be the motorcycle setup. And this one is our really cool buggy setup. And this one's going to have a hitch on it. We're going to do the hitch. We'll do everything we said we will. But we're going to, on this one, we're going to cut some corners and just speed up the projects a little bit. Okay? So in the meantime, I'm waiting on some parts right now. I can't go any further on this one because I'm waiting for the chain and stuff to come in so I can, and the front sprocket is different. That motor had a 420 front sprocket. This has a 428 rear sprocket. So I have a 428 front coming so I can use the chain to line the motor up. So we're waiting on stuff there. This one, we're waiting on some parts for this too. There's some welding I'm gonna be. So what we're doing right now is, remember, we're building 2 of these things, right? Phazon's is the prototype. So whatever mistakes I make, whatever systems I put together, I do it on his first, and then this one goes a little bit easier, okay? So that's what we're doing right now with Phazon's. We just mounted the motor. Now, we're going to talk about that for a minute. We got that chain lined up pretty good, right? Very difficult to do any kind of motor mounting on a setup like this. And it all falls back to that stinking axle. It's very difficult because, you know, you really have to mount the motor exactly where that sprocket lies, and it does become a little tricky. So what we did, the best way to do this, if you plan on doing anything like this, is I built these guys right here. Now, the way this works is what you got to do is you got to cut the heads of some of these metric bolts. You see these? These were actually pretty long. They were probably about that long. And I cut them off so I can get the studs off of them. And because we couldn't buy threaded rod in metric, which is what these engines are. So the best way to do this is you do these studs. You see that? So these are, the cutoff ends are inside, and these go in quite a ways. So the way this works is we get our L channels, just like this. And we have to do it this way so that we can always dismount the motor, unhook the motor, whatever we need to do. So you see this is going to go just like that. This guy is going to go just like that. This gives us access to each one of these by putting it on the inside like that. And then we'll attach it here and here. But the idea here is to mount these, then you lay the motor wherever you need to lay it. Wherever it needs to go on the platform, you lay it. And then you stretch it out, get the chain nice and tight, right? And then you put your bead down, you know. You lay your bead down, and that's probably the best way to do this because we're working with an inexpensive axle. I didn't say cheap because it's not cheap. It's built nice. It's built real nice, but it's inexpensive, and that's what we have to do. That's what most people would want to do, right? So that's what you do. You build your square piece, you attach your pillow blocks, and then you build your L brackets so you can mount your motor. Well, you build your platform, you know, so you can slide your motor around wherever you need to take it. But once those L brackets are mounted to the motor, you push it around, tighten up the thing, have one guy hold it, and then you tack it. Then you take the motor out, and then you run all your beads. And that's pretty much how you do it. Now there's quite a bit that is still left, but I think it's gonna go pretty quick. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna harness the motor up here also, and that's also gonna create the platform for the seat. We're gonna have to reroute this guy a little bit. Not too much. We're gonna try to probably just feed it right down through here. But other than that, I think it's going to go pretty quick. Let's take a quick look at this guy. This guy is the second one in line, right? So we want to build two of these because I quickly saw one is going to be a problem. Everybody's going to want to ride it, right? So I got two of them. I don't have time to build three or the money. These are fairly cheap, but they still cost, you know, and this one we got even less money into. We got the 80 bucks into the axle. We got 10 bucks in the wheel. That's it. That's it. Steel was free. Bicycle was free. This bicycle, incidentally, I don't know if I talked about it, but this one was dumped off on the side of the road, and we picked it up, hacked it up, and here we are. So that's where we're at with all of these. And we're going to continue working. We're going to get these babies running. And we will most definitely take you on a ride with them. So we'll see you. Oh, you don't want that. Yeah,
No.
hang on. I got it. That looks pretty tough. Little bad little buggy, man. Is that comfortable for you?
No, the seat's not really on. The seat would have to make probably right there, then that's so comfortable. I'm not gonna like a little out, so maybe like this.
Oh yeah, we can stick it right on. Okay, so we have done quite a bit of work to Faison's community friendly trike, okay? We had to do it a little bit differently because Faison wants it so bad. I hadn't had a chance to work on the second trike. He really wants this one done first. Originally, I was gonna work on them both together, kind of keep them up to speed, and then get them together at about the same time. Let's take a look at this thing. That's gonna get shortened, but the pipe's gonna come out the middle, kind of like that. We'll probably add a little bit of support right there. We put a seat thing on there. The gas tank is mounted. Let's take a look at this. He wanted to go with the drag bars, which kind of sucks because the other handlebars was what this whole project stemmed from, but it does look good. He likes that. He feels comfortable with it, and that's what we're doing. Now, a lot of this work I have not been able to put on time-lapse because my time-lapse camera, the charger, kind of took a hit. Somebody stepped on the cord, and as you can see, it's pulled the chip right out. So sometimes it's charging, sometimes it's not, and I haven't been able to time lapse a lot of the stuff. But that's not to say we're not going to keep you up to date on what's going on. It does charge sometimes, and I do have some time lapse, but we'll just work with it as we go. Okay. We are currently working on the brakes. This is how I build brackets. I mean, this is the only way to really do it. I make them out of cardboard, and see, and then I get my marks, and then once I get the bracket drawn out on cardboard, I cut it out, and then I trace it onto a piece of steel, and then I cut it to the best of my ability. I don't have 100% precise tooling here. You know, we do the best we can. But the game plan right now is to get his done first, okay? His friends have been coming by with their scooters. They all been kind of watching this thing come along, and they're anxious, and I get it, you know. So we're gonna get his done first, and then we'll get Sophian's done. Sophian's big into baseball right now. He's got a lot of games, so he's not putting any pressure on me to get the second one done. So we might as well go with Faison's to get that done first. The game plan right now is to get all the brackets welded onto the frame. We're gonna take the frame apart, finish welding every inch of it, reinforcing and gusseting wherever it needs. And then we're gonna grind everything down, clean everything up, and then throw a coat of paint on it. Let it bake in the sun for a couple days while we're rebuilding his engine, and then comes final assembly. And then once that's done, we'll start hammering away on this one. This one, like I said, is gonna go pretty quick. We're gonna run tubes straight down the middle. We don't have to make special seat brackets or nothing. We're gonna reinforce the bottom. We know how to mount the motor. It should go pretty quick. Probably a weekend job. Same deal. We're gonna go ahead and gusset, reinforce, grind, clean, paint, and final assembly on this one as well. This one is, I would say, about 85% complete. Okay, Faison's going with the foot pegs right there, so we're going to extend those out a little bit. And we're building a brake bracket for back there. And then we're going to mount his headlight thing. And then we're going to mount the two tail light pieces. And we're going to build his hitch. And I know it sounds like a lot, but some of that goes pretty quick. I think the thing that's going to take the longest is the brake bracket. Everything else should go pretty quick. So stay with us. We're going to be hammering away on Faison's community trike. We'll see you soon. Okay, so we did a little bit of work on Faison's trike here. Check this out. Look at the hitch. Now that's off to a slightly off angle. We'll fix that though. I like the concept though.
All sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, we'll be pulling all sorts of, it's already pretty strong, but we're gonna be doing full welds on this thing. We got the seat platform done. We extended his foot pegs or his feet rest.
Yeah, and we bended it towards me too, so I have a little more.
Yep. We're gonna paint his. We're getting very close to stripping it down to the frame and doing the paint on it. It's got a real hot rod look to it, and we like it. I think the pegs are. I've tacked all this stuff, but it's pretty strong. Okay. So what we did was we used some cheap steel we had. We got, you know how they package these bikes? Well, this Faison's friend got one of these. His parents wanted me to put it together and kind of show him. So, but anyways, these come in the packaging, which is constructed of this cheap ass steel, right? That's not to waste though. We use it. This is what we did. See? This deal right here, these brackets I made out of that steel. You can see the hitch. So we got our tail lights. All right? That works. That's what that cheap steel is good for. Is to mount weak, light stuff. Speaking of lights, we got our headlight too. So Faison can have some light. Now let's take a look at this thing. Looks like a three-wheeler, man. Looks like a buggy. Looks like a buggy. We're getting close to taking this thing apart. And we're gonna gusset things, and we're gonna just strengthen everything up, and grind things down and just kind of make things look a little bit legit. Remember I said in the beginning, I was trying to go for a factory look. I don't know if I'm going to achieve that. I can see little problems already. If you look at the foot pegs, you see how they're off? That's off, you know. But I can't be 100% precise here, you know. I'm rushing through two projects in a month, just by myself, basically. Simply because I got other commitments, man. I got more important stuff to do. I got a lot of construction and stuff to do at work and putting things together like that. So I can't take too much time. So I'm kind of hurrying through this, but they're safe. They're gonna be good. We're gonna do them right. But as far as show quality stuff goes, I don't know about all that. Okay, this one's getting ready to be taken apart and do some final welds and stuff on it. We'll throw a coat of paint on the frame. We're gonna bring this one up on the docket here really quick and kind of get caught up on it. You know, we had to order long brake lines because the brake lines they gave us are just not long enough. So with that in mind, we know it's gonna take a little bit longer than we wanted, but that's all right. I'm gonna put this one aside. I'm gonna bring that one on the docket and I'm gonna get that one caught up to this one. And then we're gonna rebuild the motors. Remember, we're gonna go through the motors and then we'll do final assembly. Should be pretty good. So we'll see you soon. So we started building on the platform of the chassis to the second trike. Now, we had to order some brake lines, and so I put Faison's deal kind of on hold for now and brought this one on the floor so we can get it caught up, okay? And I believe this one should go a lot faster than the other ones. Let's take a look at this. Remember, this is all free tubing that we got. Now, one of the downfalls to getting free tubing, I mean, it's not for free because you do have to, it costs you time. You know, that white paint, that was on there pretty thick, and it took a while to get them prepared. You know, if you get brand new tubing, it's already prepared, but it's got a nice wide platform for our engine, and it's got a slightly different look than Faison's. Faison's looks pretty utility, and it looks like a buggy, and we're going with the motorcycle look on this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run at least one tube down the center there like that, somewhere along that line. I'm not sure where, along the neck, maybe somewhere along about here. Maybe we'll run 2 tubes. I'm not sure yet. 1 and then 2, and we don't have to go through all that. You know, Faison's, we had to put together a seat, platform, and all sorts of stuff. This one we're sticking on a bicycle seat, you know, the ones with the springs on it, so we get kind of a built-in, somewhat of a suspension. Not really, but it's easy, you know. That's got a different look to it. It's got the big wheel in the front, and I think it's slightly longer, you know, because it's going to be mainly me, Imran, or Sufyan will be riding this thing. This one should be full auto. That's what I've been told. That motor, the black motor, is full automatic, and Faison's is a 4-speed, 3-speed semi-auto with the reverse, and this one is a 3-speed full auto with the reverse. So we'll see what happens. You know, the next step here is to put our plate steel down and get our motor mounted, and then once the motor is mounted, we know the height, if there's going to be any clearance issues, but we'll avoid the clearance issues because the motor will already be down, and we'll avoid those by running the tubes above it. So that is the next step. Stay with us. Type of feel to it. I don't know which one I like better. Honestly, Faison's came out better than I expected, but it's got the hot rod look to it, motorcycle setup, and one of the other kids will be riding this, including myself. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So we're gonna continue doing this. The other thing is you know, I really wanted to finish this by the end of June. We're gonna be close, but I think it's gonna take, I think it's gonna be probably one more episode. We'll finish 3 episodes. We'll do 2 strikes. The trailer is gonna So we are finishing up the second trike that we've been working on. Now, keep in mind, all the tubing that we got, it came from various free sources that people were just going to throw things out, you know, and it would have ended up going to waste management companies and stuff like that. So what I've been working with has been that soccer net. So what we're doing here, I just wanted to take a quick break and show you. This was a stabilizer piece for the net. It was like a source of structure, and basically we cut this thing in half. You see that? But look how thick that steel is. See, even the tubing's pretty thick. This is really good. It's pretty good steel to work with. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna have to extend this one, and we're gonna build our platform here for the seat. That's all we're doing. We're just utilizing stuff that people were gonna throw out anyways, okay? We're getting close to the next step now. What we're gonna do is, me and Faison, we're gonna finish up all the structural building of these frames, and then we're going to disassemble everything. Once we disassemble everything, we're going to reinforce everything and gusset things that need to be strengthened up, and then it's off to the paint. We're going to paint both the frames, and then it's going to be the assembly. Now we're going to have one episode particularly just dedicated to the building of the engines. We're going to rebuild both the engines, and we are going to make sure they have nice compression. You know, I'd like to see, again, a 130 plus compression for both the motors. We tested both of them. They're coming in at 90. That's a little underpowered, you know. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we'll probably use that as one episode, just for the engines. So, and then I think the fourth episode, third or fourth episode, is going to be the final assembly. So, and then we'll have a couple episodes after that where we, you know, we definitely want to take you on a ride with both of these. So stay tuned with us, okay? We'll see you soon. that is a wrap on this episode of Garage Groove. Now, our primary objective of this episode was to create a basis for the chassis. Okay, these chassis are not done yet. Our next step is to disassemble the machines and reinforce and completely weld all the necessary components of the chassis. All we did right now was tack everything into place. It's still fairly strong, but we're gonna reinforce areas that are gonna need structural support. And then once that's done, we are going to paint everything. And then we're gonna reassemble everything for final assembly. In midst of all that, we are going to rebuild the engine. And those are all in the upcoming episode or episodes, okay? Let's take a look at and see what we got here. This is Faison's buggy. It's quite different, and we're quite pleased with how it turned out. And it's only gonna look better as we add things and we paint things and clean things up. It's gonna look better. And just moving them around, it seems like, I'm just guessing, but it looks like the buggy is gonna probably perform a little better. That's got a real different look. We're very pleased with it. The other one, Sofian's, we went with the raised handlebars, and it's got the motorcycle look, which is nothing new to this channel, but it's got some cool things about it too. We'll go over that here in a second. So we had to do a few things to these chassis in this episode before we can start painting. We had to add the foot pegs. We built the platform. Okay, we did the neck, the neck tube for the gas tank. We did the seat mount. We did the motor mount. We did the calipers, the caliper bracket, I should say. And those are all permanent fixtures. And we can, and we did the headlight bracket. The headlight actually comes off, but the bracket is mounted. And there's a couple things that are still left that we're gonna do off camera, but we're gonna take these apart right at the beginning of the next episode and start working on structurally reinforcing these chassis. So let's take a look at Faison's here. Turned out real nice. We're very happy with it. This one's got the hitch. It's got your tail light brackets. This I'm gonna beef up. That's gonna be off camera. We're gonna do that. Okay, we did the seat mount. Everything's gonna be cleaned up very nicely. And look how nice that thing sits. Very happy with it. Similarly, Sofian's looks pretty tough. We have to get the headlight for it still. We used a huge street bike caliper on this because it will fit on here. It would not fit on Faison's because his rear end is actually shorter than this one. This is a tall rear end. We used the Harley seat on this, which is very comfortable. And look how cool that looks. Look how nice both of them look. Okay, we added rebar to his foot pegs to add a little bit of gription. We still got to do that to Faison's. We're going to do that off camera. This thing just, I don't know, it just grabs me. I just really like how it looks. It's so different. This one is really cool too. This is right up our alley, but this is more typical of what we would do here, you know. So, but it's really, we're very pleased with this too. Sofian's very happy with it. He was sitting on it last night and he looked really cool on it. That thing looks cool from the back. So does Faison's. Very nice. So that is going to wrap up this episode. Please let us know in the comments which buggy or trike you prefer. Is it the buggy or is it the motorcycle? Me and Faison prefer the buggy. We think it came out very unique. And we like the other one too. And but let us know what you think. And please stay with us, because these episodes are going to come pretty quick. And we're going to finish these, and then we're going to take you guys on a ride with them as we tour the little neighborhood. Take care. Stay with us. Have a great day.